Welcome back to the new user video series. Okay, so we're going to talk about ticket routing. Ticket routing is how you shuffle tickets around, whether it's a dispatch, which is assigning a ticket to a resource when there's been no assignment before, or you're shuffling a ticket around because it needs to go to a different tier. And so we call that ticket routing. And under that, you would call it dispatch and escalations. And so let's start off with the ticket. I'm going to walk through what happens in the ticket, and then I'm going to go show you the configuration for it. So notice there's no resource on this ticket, and our ticket insight is very bare here. It has very few options, macros and dispatch ticket. So we can't schedule or do anything else on this ticket because there's no resource, so there's nothing to do. And this is what it would look like after you've triaged the ticket. It's brand new. Now you need to route it to somebody. And typically a dispatcher or a help desk manager would go look at calendars, workload, see who should take it, have somebody pull it out of the queue. I mean, there's a million ways of doing it, but none of them are very efficient because there's just a lot of manual labor involved. So with ticket routing, we don't worry about that. We define rules for it. Watch this. I'm going to go ahead and dispatch it. This can be enabled or disabled, whether or not notes are required. In the demo, we have it enabled. And so new ticket, work on this ASAP. Thanks. Generally, people will disable it in the dispatch panel because you're just giving it to a resource for the first time. Now let's go ahead, give it a couple of seconds, and then we're going to do a refresh. And so what's happening here is, we already assigned it to somebody, Cindy. And so we use the ticket routing engine to figure out who to assign it to. And then notice it included the note down here so everybody can see it. And it gave us a little log ID, so that as an administrator, you can see what happened. So let's go figure out the logic. Why the heck did it give it to Cindy Jones? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our modules and our ticket routing, and we're going to go to a ticket routing rule. A rule just describes what ticket am I willing to work on and how do I assign and who do I assign it to. And so we have a default here, and what we're going to do is we are going to create a quick recipe that's not the default, and let's see, we'll work against this queue IT level 1. And so let's create a recipe for ticket routing. Let's say that we have a certain set of tickets that should be routed to our Office 365 people. So let's say it's our Office 365 skills. And we want to, this is for any active customer. You can use CRM search to restrict who I will look at for this. And for the ticket queue, let's see who this is. That is IT level 1. I can really restrict who it is. So for this rule, I only want to look at tickets I find in this queue that belong to these customers, no other filters. Now, the next thing is, and it warns us, there's no escalation path. Okay, it will find this ticket, but who should it give it to? And so what you do is you just edit this, and then I'm going to drop in me and just some random other teams. The way it will work is this is the first team. If there's nobody assigned, it will go to this team. Then if this person escalates, it will go to this team. If this person escalates, it will go to that team. Okay, so currently it is assigned to Cindy. And what I will do is I have a bunch of sample tickets here. Let's go ahead and try this again. Now let's click dispatch and see what happens. See what happens. Okay, great. So we'll give it a couple of seconds. And a couple of seconds more. It's already starting to log stuff. Notice it gave it to Dustin this time. And the reason is Dustin is in this team, not Cindy. Cindy will be in some of these other teams. And so that's how you do ticket routing. The more specific, the better. The default rule is like your catch-all rule. Typically, this would be like a triage team. And then maybe this is your 365 people, like a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. You can have as many rules as you want. Some people like to call this ticket routing or escalations. Some people call these skill trees, where you define skill sets and who gets those. But that's how that works. In other videos, I'll show you as well how you can auto schedule people and not just assign them.